He's working out. All that it means we have competition, and the more that I can create competition at every position, the better our program will be. And if guys know that each day they got to go out there and earn that right to be on the field, I think that just makes everybody better. And that was one of the things that I knew it, but I got a chance to sit back and watch that, last year with Bob Quinn and how, at Detroit, and I thought that made us a better team. He tried to upgrade the roster, the bottom half, so it would create more competition, and that's what we have to do. We just have to create more competition. And the more competition we have, like I said, the better we'll be as a program.
Randy, why would one particular quarterback emerge? And what will you need in terms of the offense you and Rhett want to run? What would you most like to see from the player who's going to be the guy?
It's at the quarterback position, it's a matter of who's the guy that can go out there and move the team and score points, and make plays. But that's what you're looking for. And as we watched film, I just felt that, we needed to go get some guys that had the ability to be able to make some plays. And the thing is, all three of these guys, in this day and age, I think you got to have guys that have the mobility to be able to move around back there. If something breaks down, they got to have the ability to use their feet to get you to make a play. And I think that's one thing all three of those young men, have the ability to do that, but they also have the ability to be able to throw the football too. So they're not one-dimensional.
Randy, what every fan wants to know, obviously, is how quickly can you get this thing turned around. So when you evaluate the talent that's coming back and what you have, were you surprised pleasantly or unpleasantly at what you have to work with at this point?
No, I haven't. I looked at some things real quick before, but never got into an in-depth evaluation of what needed, what we were going to need. I kind of waited, but I wanted to take a look at a couple things that, from a number standpoint, and I think I saw enough in terms of what we needed to do. But now that other phase will started taking place yesterday, and continue here for about another week.
What's your priority now? Obviously you have a long to-do list, but what are some of the things you're going to be focusing on in the next month or so?
Well, we're going to finish out this week, and then the coaches they're taking a week and trying to get their moving situations and family situations straightened out. And then when we get back from that, then we'll dive right into the installations of what we're going to do offensively and defensively, amongst the staffs, and we'll spend a lot of time. We already started on the 2018 class. So again, basically it'll be football and recruiting up until March 21st, I believe it is, at Monday or 20th. We'll start spring practice. We'll start after we get back from spring break. So really these next 5-6 weeks will be just installing and installing the things that we want to do with the coaches for our playbook and spring ball and recruiting. And then when we get into the spring ball, then we'll continue the recruiting, and then we'll get back out recruiting.
Randy, you said that you couldn't poke holes in your resume, but did you find you had to do a little bit of damage control over what happened the last 6 years here?
No. I don't think one high school coach asked me one question about that. I didn't get one question about that. I didn't get one question from any family member or any families that we went in to see. There was no questions that came up about that at all.
Randy, among the players returning, how many have you actually been able to meet with so far?
I haven't sat down with any of them yet, talked to them. We were out there with workouts. Like I said, it's pretty hard to meet with them when you're out on the road recruiting, and you prioritize things. And now when I get back after taking a few days, and I'll start meeting with them individually, and coaches started meeting with guys, individually here, the last day or so. But we'll do that. But I've interacted with all of them and talked to them in passing and things like that, but haven't had the opportunity, right now, because the number one priority was trying to get the recruiting thing taken care of, because we basically had 2 weeks to do what people got to do in 2 years. So, all the focus and attention was on that.
The situation that was referenced before, I know there's only so much you can talk about, the kid from New Jersey. Are you satisfied though with the way you handle that, the staff handled that? And are you surprised about the firestorm it kind of created?
I just think that's in the past, and I've moved forward from that.
A quarter of this class is the secondary. Moving to a 3-3-5 under Coach Crocker, is that a bigger priority on the recruiting trail moving forward?
Again, I don't know if it's a bigger, because some of those guys, again, it depends on what teams do to you. I mean, sometimes that guy, you could play as a nickel, but you could play as a big nickel, and that guy could be a linebacker, depending on the personnel that you see. So, yeah, you're going to have the ability to have corners, but you're also going to be the ability to have some more athletic safeties, and then also some of your outside linebackers are going to be those guys that, like Darian Beavers. He's a 6'4", 215, played safety, but he'll probably move down to an outside linebacker. So, again, there's a lot of things schematically that I won't get into right now in terms of what we're going to end up doing personnel-wise, but I think the more that you can get long guys who can run, the better off you're going to be, and whether those guys can play safety or linebacker, you'd like to be able to have some that could be interchangeable.